Hello children, welcome to the of third lecture of chapter number 2. In the previous two chapters we had studied about the various handicrafts of India, and we had seen in detail about each of them. In this third lecture we are going to see about the fine arts. The second part of this particular chapter is also related to fine arts, and today we are going to see about them. So let us go. Jade work. Now in the last lecture we had seen about various precious stones, and we had seen that Khambat was one of the biggest processing center of such kind of stones and such kind of art. Jade, which is also called locally as akik, is also a precious stone, a kind of a semi-precious stone, and some of the other precious stones which are also found in India and Gujarat are flint. Now this is the photograph of flint. Flint is used by human being from a very long time. You can see why it is used due to this characteristic that it can be chiseled means it can be broken, shaped into various useful instruments. And this is the photograph of one of the spear head made into the primitive time. So you can see flint was a very useful stone even in the time of the primitive age. The next stone which is very precious is garnet. Now garnet is again found from the silica. Silica means sand, and garnet is found of various shapes, size and colors. You can see they are semi-precious stones and they are found almost everywhere on the earth. The third is carnelian. Carnelian, you can see on this particular side, carnelian is in raw form, how it is found, and later on it is polished and made into such kind of beautiful stones and ornaments. So we saw that precious stones are found into Gujarat, into Ahmedabad, Ranpur and Surat. These are some of the places where they were polished and processed, and most of the stones were sent to Khambat. Now with this we have already discussed, they were mostly sent to Khambat because Khambat at that time was a very important center of this stone industry. This photograph shows you the beautiful use of jade in the ring, in a pendant, again in a pendant, right, even in nail polish. Now the modern use is also into nail polish, right, again a pendant and a bracelet. So jade is widely used into decoration and into jewelry. Next comes painting. As I told you, fine arts. We are going to talk about fine arts today. So painting is the first and the foremost thing that we are going to talk about. Now whenever painting comes into our mind, then we always think about drawing. Okay, so yes, it is related to drawing, but it is basically putting your emotions, putting your ideas, putting your feelings in the form of lines, colors and objects, and that is considered as painting. Say, of all the art, painting is foremost. Painting is considered as the foremost art of all. Foremost means the most important one, the most prominent one. Okay, painting an art that can express through lines and colors. See, painting is such kind of art that can be expressed through lines and colors. There are certain kind of colors which are considered hot colors, while certain colors are such kind of colors which are considered cool colors. If you use hot colors into your painting a lot, the critic can say that when the painter was making this art, he was angry, right? So such kind of expression of art can be done, expression of feeling can be done through those lines and colors. The main aim is to express man's emotions. So the main aim of painting is to express man's emotion. As I already told you, that with painting, with lines and colors, you can express your emotions, you can show your feelings to others. Imitation of animate and inanimate object nature. See, now imitation is copy. Imitation is copy. Now what is painting then? Painting is imitation, copy of animate and inanimate objects. Now from where do we take the inspiration for a painting? We take inspiration from nature, right? We take inspiration from animate objects. Animate means living objects. Animate matlab living object, while inanimate means non-living object. We take examples, we take inspiration from animate objects, and we also take inspiration from inanimate objects that are found into nature. So you can say that painting is basically a imitation of nature, a copy of nature done by men. In Vishnu Puran, what does Vishnu Puran say about the painting? Remember this, you can quote this into your answers. In Vishnu Puran, Sumeru among the mountains, Sumeru among the mountains, eagle among the birds, king among the people, prominent. Similarly, painting all among all art occupies important place. See what comparisons here are done. Sumeru mountain is considered as the king of the mountain. Among all the mountains, Sumeru mountain is the king of the mountain. Eagle is considered as the king of all the birds. Among all the birds, eagle is considered as the king. King among all the people is considered the most important person. King among all the people is considered most important, while painting is considered the most important among all the art. So you can see even in Vishnu Puran, it is said that painting is the most important art. It is the prominent art. It is the king of all the arts. You can see some of the beautiful paintings of Indian artists, right? Now painting is not a new thing. Okay, there are evidences of Indian art of painting almost 5,000 years old, when human being was almost into, you can say, the starting age. Okay, when he was starting to learn, when he was starting to live and settle, there are evidences of 5,000-year-old art. Traces of animals and bird cave paintings. Cave painting, how we can find those? They're through cave painting. Cave painting found in Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh. There's a place called Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh where cave painting. This is the photograph. You can see this. This is the photograph of the painting. In this painting, you can see various things about their day-to-day activity, like collecting. You can see here collecting of woods, right? Here they are saying that they are going for hunting, right? Here also you can see they are going for hunting, right? Here you can see the children, they are playing. So this all was done almost 5,000 years back on the wall of the cave, and they were done using natural colors like the pigments of minerals, then leaves of the plants, sap of the plant, and such kind of things. And this was done almost 5,000 years back, and they are still intact, and you can go and see them. Paintings of Ajanta and Ellora. See, paintings of Ajanta and Ellora, if you've gone to Ajanta and Ellora in Maharashtra, are among the best evidences of Indian painting. They were considered one of the best evidences of painting. This particular painting is known as Padmapani. This painting is known as Padmapani. Most of the paintings are related to the Buddhist culture, and you can see beautiful detail done there. The technique which is used into this painting is called fresco technique. The technique is called fresco technique, and the detail which is given is immense and the most beautiful one. Okay, these paintings are almost again 1500 years, more than 1500 years old. The next fine art that we are going to talk about is music. Now music, whenever we talk about music right now in today's generation, okay, you people generation, music is loud noise, okay, a lot of bass and a lot of sound. But music involves a lot of things. Music involves tune, rhythm, and harmony. So we are talking about music. So music involves all the three things: tune, rhythm, and harmony. Music doesn't only mean playing of instrument, it also includes singing and playing of the instrument. So you can see singing and playing of instruments are involved in it. Music can be divided mainly into two parts. See, we are here again, we are talking about the Indian music. Music can be divided into two parts: classical music and folk music. Okay, classical music is basically the music you might have seen played with different kind of instruments and having a typical type of you can say systematic study of it, systematic form of it. The folk music is basically a specialized music or specialized fine art from state to state or place to place. In the classical music there are mainly five types of rags. Okay, there are mainly five type of rag: Shri, Deepak, Hindol, Megh, and Bhairavi. Now these are mainly five kind of rag. There are a lot of sub rags of it, but mainly there are five kinds of rag. Now this there is a certain kind of belief that when the rag Deepak is sung in the right way, that it can enlighten the lamps. You can see here the lamps are enlightened due to the Deepak rag. And when rag Megh is sung in the right way, it can attract the rain. So music was involved, music was uh, connected even to such kind of things too. Now all rags originate from the Panchmukh of Lord Shiva. So it is believed that all the rags are originated from the Panchmukh of Shiva. Now Shiva, there is a form of Shiva which has five faces, Panchmukh. Only the five faces are Satyajit, then Vamdev, then Aghoraya, Tatpurush, and Shana. These are the five faces. You might have seen idols of Lord Shiva in the Panchmukhi form in various temples also. There are five faces, right? And it is believed that all these rags have originated from the Panchmukh of the Lord Shiva. Samdev. Now, out of this four Vedas, Samdev is called the Gangotri of music. Gangotri is the origin place of the music. Now, we have already seen that there are four Vedas, and out of that, Samdev is considered as the musical book because it have the musical form of the literature, the verses into it, and how they should be sung, in what rhetorical manner they can be pronounced. All that is mentioned into Samdev. Now we are going to learn about the text of the music. There are, like, you have textbooks of math, science, English, social science. Same way, there are texts, there are books related to music, and some of the books of music are considered very important, right? Among them, Sangit Markand is considered one of the most important book. Sangit Markand is considered one of the most important book. It was written by the scholar Narad. You can see the photograph of Narad here. Written by scholar Narad in about 900 BC. See, it was written almost 900 BC, means 9,900 years before the birth of Christ. It describes about 19 venas and 101 rhythm. So it describes about 19 kind of veena, different kind of venas, and 101 kind of rhythm. Okay, so this is considered one of the very important book of music. The next book is Sangit Ratnakar. The second important book is Sangit Ratnakar. It was written by Pandit Sarangdev. See, who was the writer of this book? Pandit Sarangdev of Daulatabad. Now, Daulatabad is situated, you can say, almost in the middle of India, and that's why Pandit Sarangdev was very familiar with the north and southern Indian music. Now, if you study the music, the North Indian music and the South Indian music is almost different. They are very different from each other. And as Pandit Sarangdev was settled into Daulatabad, so he was familiar with both kind of music, the South and the North, and he has mentioned beautifully the various aspect of the southern and northern Indian kind of music into this book Pandit Ratnakar. That's why it is considered one of the most important books of music. Th- Third is Sangit Parijat. Sangit Parijat. It was written by Pandit Ahobole in 1665. So it was written in 1665. It is mainly book on northern Hindustani music. See, this book is related to northern Hindustani music. He said that rag have individual identity and character. Pandit Sar Ahobole said that each rag have individual identity and characteristics. See, it have different kind of identity and different kind of characters. They are not similar like human beings, they are separate from each other. He has described 29 type of tunes. Different 29 type of tunes are mentioned by Pandit Ahobole in his book Sangit Parijat. Amir Khusro was a famous poet of his time. Okay, Amir Khusro, you might have heard his name many a times in TV, televisions, and some of the Kavi Sammelans that are held many a times. Amir Khusro was a very important poet of that time, and he was also known Tut-e-Hind. Tut-e-Hind. Tut-e-Hind means the parrot of India. The parrot of India. Why he was called the parrot of India? Because he was a beautiful poet. He was writing poetries that were considered one of the most beautiful poetries of his time. There were also very beautiful and very good writers, many writers, but as he had gone patronage from the kings, he was more of a important person. Bhakti movement, which started in 15th and 16th century, was also a very important movement for the rise of the music. Bhakti movement. Bhakti movement basically is a movement where the music which was created, the songs which are created, the poets which are created were mainly center keeping the God. Okay, mainly the subject of those poetries was God, and that's why it was known as Bhakti movement. The Bhakti Sangeet, okay, mainly the bhajans and all were created into it. Bhakti Sangeet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you might have heard the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Here you can see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kabir, right? Dohas of Kabir you might be studying. Tulsidas, Mirabai and Narsi Mehta were very famous. Okay, here the photograph of Mirabai. So this Bhakti Sangeet, the you can say the hymns, the bhajans which were created by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kabir, Tulsidas, Mirabai and Narsi Mehta were very famous, and that gave a great impetus to the music of India. Right, you can see the photograph of Narsi Mehta. Right? So we'll keep till here in this particular chapter.